There are lots of battlegrounds. Now, we on this show broke the idea of what's the difference between a meme and a battleground.
Right. And let's go through that. Meme
Well,
stock, heavily shorted,
heavily shorted
mostly retail, right?
and right, heavily shorted without an institutional long presence.
Right. So it's the longs are mostly retail. It's the
Yes,
guys that trade in and out, the Robin Hood crowd in and
yes,
out. And you can break down that data. And that data matters because it tells you a lot about how the trading is going to go, who's going to come in and, try to like capitalize on unfortunately, the meme crowd doesn't have the same information that a trading desk guy has. And after the one episode of Melvin, was it? I keep getting the name wrong.
Melvin
Going
Capital,
down
right.
under, following massive losses on the meme stock GameStop. Remember GME? Really, the sophisticated trading desk played the meme crowd pretty well, knowing where the short interest was, knowing where to trade in and out of stocks, and kind of trading up and down, all the way down. If you know, as AMC now trades at the equivalent of 30 cents on the dollar. A battleground stock is a significant, there are shorts, but a significant real long presence from institutions, correct?
Correct. So what we did, and it's really kind of a crazy thing. We on this show we talked about what's a battleground stock. Now, a battleground stock is when the institutional longs more or less equal the institutional shorts.
Right,
And so there's a
right.
ratio. And when that's 1 to 1, when the active long, you have to cut out all the passive and you have to cut out retail because they tend to hold their positions. And when you look at institutionally who's involved versus the short selling community, if that's 1 to 1, that's a battleground. You can tell that's where the action is. There's going to be an explosion, usually within 90 days.
Up
Now,
or down, right?
either way, because it's telling you that what's driving the stock price and what's traded every day, there's a dollar long and a dollar short. So if a dollar more comes on the long side and it becomes $2, the stock's going to go up. If let's say 50 cents comes on the short side, it's probably going to come down. So what happened, we talked about C3AI. And we said, this is a battleground stock. It's skewing short. It was down like 30% this week.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so these ratios, long to short. Now, long $100, short $100, that's a ratio of 1 to 1. If you have short $70 and long $50, it's probably about a 0.8. So we have ranked and categorized the entire stock market looking at it through this lens. And that's the difference between a meme and a battleground. Now, that explanation got 407,000 views on X, just on an interview, one of the shows we did together, and then I did a piece on Bloomberg News. So this is news. People are not used to looking at the markets this way. It's new data. It's a new way of looking at things. And this week we have seen what happens when that long short ratio, institutional active longs, either exceeds or is a little less than or a little more than the short interest. That ratio, when it moves stocks. A lot of interesting things have happened. So let's take, roll them please, DJT, Trump.
You know what that is.
Yeah. So as you
that's our president's
yes,
Truth Social, the holding company for Truth Social, our
right,
president's social media platform.
right. And so you can see on the chart, the blue line is the long short ratio. What do we see? We see the institutional longs have piled into this stock. It's 2 or 3 times now the short interest, which was not always the case. Short interest was actually more over time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So the stock price is, more or less come down. It's kind of more or less found its level. But you can see the institutional longs are plowed into this stock in the last couple of months. So we think this kind of bodes well for this stock. You've seen the institutional longs are plowed in. The more they plow in, probably you see an uptick in this stock.
What's the fundamental play you think on this?
Oh, I don't think there is one.
It's Trump, and
Yeah, it's Trump.
you know, it's going to
Look,
be
you
end
know
of
the
the
media
year.
business way better than I do.
Well, I'm just wondering. Well, I'm just wondering. Like, the company doesn't exactly make money, does it? Or
No.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the people are plowing in because, I guess it's kind of a bet on the Trump presidency that most people think. I know we're only 6 months in of a 4-year term, has been net very positive. So it's kind of a fundamental statement on that, I would think.
So if we can bring that chart back,
And by the way, that's a scary reason to buy a stock, just so for the
100%.
people out there.
And let's be clear, we're data. We're not giving you
Oh
investment
yeah,
advice. We
absolutely.
say that on our X accounts. But this is what the terrain says. So if you're looking for a poll on the Trump administration, this is not a bad one.
Yeah,
It's an interesting one. People are voting with their pocketbooks and saying, we like this.
yeah, because you wouldn't buy the fundamentals aren't great, and even though Twitter still gets a lot more traffic. We can go down the lines. So that's it. I haven't heard the story of the longs of the institutional longs overtaking the short. That's a news headline, and just for the people out there, the fact of the matter is there's some corner that was turned that S3's data just came up with, and that corner is that no longer is this like the stock everybody's betting to fail. In fact, more of the smart money is out there betting it's gonna. Marginally
Succeed,
more. Not,
or it has value, and
yeah.
it might be a proxy for the goodwill of the Trump brand.
Now we did have a bad PPI number Thursday, so who the hell knows what the future. I always tell people this about the Trump presidency because a lot of it's going to hinge on tariffs. And if you're divining sort of the future from each quarter now, at least what's going on now in terms of economic numbers, the PPI, the CPI, the jobs number as they're coming out now, I would just say that's a fool's game. This is the next 6 months. Let's talk in 4 to 6 months where those numbers how those numbers look, and then we'll have a better sort of grasp on whether the tariffs were net positive or net negative.
Totally true.
And whether the big beautiful budget and the sort of stimulus in that sort of outweighs the tariffs are a tax, the tax increase that's passed on to consumers and shareholders of tariffs. So be that as it may, we saw Wall Street is obviously liking what they see out of Trump, given this battleground state.